Shock consumes us all as we experience jihadist terrorism on the Western Front, watching buildings crumble and humans fall in the hands of a foreign force. But what's more shocking is that despite the strong anti-jihadist rhetoric in the West, we still see American, British, and Western citizens joining groups like ISIS, ranging from the Boston Marathon bombing brothers to a Catholic church boy from Berlin. Then begs the question, why? What makes one of us join them? I sat down with Dr. Arie Kruglanski to ask exactly that. Dr. Kruglanski is an award-winning social psychologist and distinguished professor of psychology at the University of Maryland College Park, best known for his work in the theory of cognitive closure, an individual's want for a concrete answer to a question and aversion to ambiguity. As such, I wanted to know how his theory of cognitive closure applied to why Westerners would join ISIS. So, Mr. Kruglanski, what makes one of us join them?
When you say one of us, you assume a given objective situation that we are all in. We may be doing well, we may be raised in the West, we may be exposed to Western media. So you assume that these people are like us. And therefore it's so striking and so strange and so curious and so odd to see that they would something that would never occur to us to do. But I think there is a distinction between the objective situation and the psychological situation of someone.
Arie introduces an individual's psychological need for certainty, for cognitive closure.
A person can be uncertain and confused about their life. There can be uncertain about their future. And all of a sudden comes an ideology that immediately offers success. All you have to do is to sign up. All you have to do is to join the fight. And then your future is going to be assured. You're going to become from zero to hero, from a person that lacks any significance in their own life to somebody that is going to be venerated, possibly as a hero and a martyr. So it can be a very attractive situation for somebody who is confused and who is suffering from sense of inadequacy, failure, and so forth.
But why ISIS?
Again, ISIS has something very valuable to offer that the Catholicism faith, or the Jewish faith, or the Hindu faith, whatever, doesn't quite offer. Not Islam in general, but the fundamentalist, the Salafi, the militant Islam offers immediate gratification of your need to be significant, to matter, through violence. The idea of fighting for a cause is not something that Catholicism offers at this time. There was one time during the Crusades in the 12th and 13th centuries that Christianity and Catholicism offered just that. A similar situation exists now. Fundamentalist Islam is offering a road to significance that is very immediate, very direct, very appealing, through violence.
But don't they realize that they're causing mass violence against their own people? Do they understand that?
They feel that they understand what they are getting into through the narrative that they accept from ISIS or Al-Qaeda. They feel that this is the truth. They are convinced by it. Their need for closure, we must understand that our cognitions, our beliefs about the world are motivated. It's not that we see information objectively. We see information through the lens, through the optic of our motivations. And our motivation for closure predisposes us to see things in black and white, in simplistic terms, us versus them, good versus bad, and so forth. And that's, through violence, there is a kind of primordial means of asserting one's significance, empowering others, humiliating others, killing others. That, in the evolutionary world, is always the road to significance. In civilization, we are trying to overcome that, but it's still just beneath our skin.
So people let go of morality, commit violent acts for a religion they don't really understand, all for cognitive closure?
Yes, it wants closure and wants significance. There are these two intertwined aspects. You want to matter, and you want to have clarity about how to get to the situation where you do matter. So the ISIS propaganda skillfully and cleverly provides both. If you have a combination of a certainty promising propaganda that allows you to have a place of significance in the enterprise, you're going to be a fighter. You're going to see yourself in a galloping Humvee with a big gun, with your kafia, like in Lawrence of Arabia. You're going to be a great hero overnight. So these two things, significance and certainty, is what the propaganda skillfully provides, and that's what efforts at counter-messaging and counter-radicalization need to provide. They also have to provide significance to people and clarity.
So ultimately, it's a trifecta of cognitive closure, significance, and ISIS propaganda. The cognitive need for certainty, coupled with the inherent desire to be a hero within us all, is targeted and skillfully manipulated by ISIS. So now that we know what makes Jihadi John, what unmakes one?
Well, I think it has to be a community effort. I just came back where I gave a lecture at a Danish town called Aarhus. And they have the Aarhus model, which fights radicalization from the ground up. They collaborate with the social services, with the police in this effort to counter-radicalize youth that seem to be at risk. They involve psychologists who understand the way I was portraying it to you, understand the dynamics of it, the motivational, cognitive dynamics of radicalization, and they create a set of interventions that can be emulated by other towns.
He also adds that while psychology is a viable counterterrorism tactic,
are not to exclude military ways of coping with ISIS, because ISIS needs to be defeated on the ground through military, through the police, through intelligence efforts and so forth. But that's not enough. You cannot arrest them all, you cannot kill them all. There has to be a counterpoint on the softer side, on the psychological and the social side, on the community side. So I think a bunch of psychologists are not going to solve the problem, but they can create that soft reaction to extremism that can bear fruit in the long run.